Welcome back to the Jackie Griffin Show. We are joined live now on set with Mr. Brandon Jones, the CEO of Self Made Magazine. Really nice magazine, really great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about Mr. Brandon Jones?
Do we have that much time?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so I am a writer, a journalist, a creator of a magazine, the Self-Made Magazine. I started off at, the age of 8 writing. Went from that point to basically doing some writing for Baltimore City Community College. Worked for the Crier, became the editor-in-chief of the Crier. Went from the Crier to being in charge of the literary magazine. From the literary magazine, went on to work and go to school at Morgan. And from Morgan, I decided that I wanted to invest my time and my skill into producing my own magazine.
Wow. So what was your passion behind doing your own magazine?
The passion basically came from my friends. All of the friends that I had growing up, none of them went to college. They decided to go away from that route. Basically, they had their own ideas of what they wanted to do, and that was to become entrepreneurs for themselves and work for themselves and do extraordinary things. So for me personally, I just decided that I wanted to put together a platform that allowed me to introduce the world to some of my friends. And from there, it just went on to the path of just being very interested and intrigued in all the other entrepreneurs that I came in contact with throughout my time as just meeting people.
What is the mission of Self Made Magazine?
The mission of Self-Made Magazine is to educate and recognize young and old black entrepreneurs, specifically here in the DMV right now, Maryland, and then just taking this thing as far as we can. There aren't any outlets for small businesses, entrepreneurs that are just starting off, and this is what this magazine is geared towards. It's giving them the opportunity to not only to advertise for themselves, but to be recognized, to tell their stories, and also just to have a platform of recognition.
Awesome. So, let's talk a little bit about this
Okay?
lovely lady here
Absolutely.
who I thought was your wife, but it's not because she has the same
Same
last name. What goes into you selecting the person that's going to be on the cover of your magazine?
A lot of things, actually. I look at a person of how they represent themselves, number one. I look at what they've been able to do in business as an entrepreneur, as well as what they've been able to do in the community. And then for this particular issue that just came out on Monday, our February issue, which you can get at various locations, such as Kush, which is 840 North Utah Street, and then you can get it at Flight Restaurant. You can look that up. That's also on York Road. And then you can download the digital for $1.99 from the selfmademagazine.com. But literally, it's just what they've been able to do. With this particular issue, it's 15 entrepreneurs on the rise in the year 15. So all of these entrepreneurs are projected to have extraordinary years. And this particular person, Brenda L. Jones, who has her own clothing company, which is Brenda L. Jones Clothing, is just an extraordinary person from top to bottom, who pretty much for me is a face and a brand recognized a force to be reckoned with when it comes to being an entrepreneur, especially here locally.
Now, there's lots of magazines out there. What makes yours so different?
I think what makes ours so different, just a little bit, is the fact that most magazines nowadays, I won't give any names or anything like that. If
Right.
we're talking about entrepreneurship. They start recognizing those entrepreneurs who are making at least $250,000. They're already established, they already have a name, or they're already recognized in some shape, fashion, or form. With this magazine, it's pretty much giving you that recognition, but from a small business's perspective. So, a Brenda Jones or any of the other ones that are recognized within the magazine, these are companies that need to be recognized because at the forefront of business, people don't know it, but small business is what builds this country. And if you don't recognize a small business and kind of focus a lot of your attention on those that are actually developing the future of our country, then we're lost totally in vain. So this is a good platform for those young or old entrepreneurs who are doing excellent work and just need to be recognized in a way that you know, you don't have to be making 250 grand a year just to be recognized.
What advice would you give to our viewers who may be interested in doing what you did, creating their own magazine? What advice would you give to them?
I would say to anybody who's actually on the verge or in between whether or not they want to be an entrepreneur or not, to just go with it. This is something that was 4 years in the making. We did a lot of things. We started off as a radio show, and my idea at the time was that I wanted to create a platform that people would recognize first, gain the attention, and then go for the magazine. And I've realized over time, as you learn as an entrepreneur, that was probably one of the dumbest mistakes I've ever made. Because with this, what I did was I just went for it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of entrepreneurs for themselves, they kind of, you know, they sway away from being an entrepreneur because you think about the timing, or you think about funding, or you think about all the elements or obstacles that may come, you know, in your way. And for this particular magazine, this is our second edition. We started in January. No funding, no grants, no high sponsors, nothing. I just went for it, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to get some people. We're going to put it together. And as you can see, we're not. We weren't just one issue. We're now progressing because, of course, that's what entrepreneurship is all about.
And you said you actually went online to do this, to do your magazine. You actually, all of this that's in here is you,
Right.
but the publishing company you used was online.
Right. We found a publication. Actually, we found a distributor that would actually produce it to a, you know, for the magazine to be either print or digital. But from cover to cover, this is literally something that I did. I'm the designer of. So pretty much all they do is kind of put the pages together for me, and then distribute it to various places that we need it to go. But like I said, you know, for an entrepreneur in any field, whatever it is that you're doing, the other thing that I've learned is anything that's possible, always try to learn it, because that only makes you more ahead of the game, if you will. So never, you know, count anybody or hope that, you know, someone's going to help you. Always try to find out what it is that you can do for yourself, and then operate accordingly. So.
How inspirational was your parents, or who was your role model growing up?
Oh, I had so many. My mom, for one. My mom actually, for 27 years, she worked at the Baltimore Sun. And I remember I was very excited, roughly about the age of 8, when I realized that I wanted to write. And I used to always stay at the Baltimore Sun. I knew that place, whether it be the plant or whether it be the main building. I knew it, you know, from top to bottom. Everybody knew me, so I got that experience. And I always thought, as a lot of people believe, that when you get older, there's a job waiting for you. So I got all excited, you know, and I get done with college, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready, Ma. Like, hook me up. And my mother told me, you got to work for it. So I did sales for the Baltimore Sun for a little bit, and I was crushed at that point because I thought that I was going to get, you know, this job because my mother worked there. And it was a very inspired moment when she said no, because at that point, that's when I realized that I didn't want to work for that company, and I wanted to put something together that would be better than the Baltimore Sun. So from that point on, I just was focused on trying to do my own thing.
Well, what does Mom say about this?
Mom loves it. Mom actually, she was there for the start of trying to get it to the print. She's been very vocal in terms of helping me, you know, reach some of the goals of the platforms that we wanted to. But another inspiration to me personally is also not Brenda Jones, who you believe was my wife, but my actual wife, who also owns her own company. She owns a cake company. GetCakedOnline.com, which does specialized cakes and cupcakes. She's also inspired me because if it wasn't for her, literally I'd still be somewhere planning it out as opposed to just saying, go for it. Just go for it.
So I guess it holds true that saying that behind every great man is a great woman.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what's in the future for Self Made Magazine?
Take over world domination. No, no. For us, it's staying consistent. That's one thing that every publication needs to do. You got to stay consistent. It's also good that you, for us, we want to just take this thing not just to make the name here in Maryland, but we also want to take it to DC. It's so universal in terms of African Americans and entrepreneurship everywhere that you look.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that is so broad that literally we can take it to Texas or Kentucky or even out of the states and into a different country. It's so global as an opportunity to recognize those that are doing extraordinary things, especially black entrepreneurs, and have us be able to deliver this to the masses.
What does Black History Month mean to you?
God, Black History Month to me always means that it's too short.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many. There's so many individuals that I do believe don't get recognized, and a good friend of mine, also a host of a show on WPB, is Donnie Glover.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Glover gives me inspiration every day because every day on my social media, Donnie Glover decides that he's going to post up one Black history individual that either would inspire or someone that you just don't know.
Right.
So it's always good to have that because, of course, there's so many that we don't know them all.
Correct.
And it's always good to find one that you don't know and then just get really excited about. Like I just found out that Black Guy made the Super Soaker. So I want to go out and buy a whole bunch of Super Soakers now. Just have a Super Soaker fight. But no, it's really good, and I like the fact that with Black History Month, especially with our publication, it just shows that we're still in progression and we're still pioneering. And for those that were, that made it possible for us, we're still leading the way to make it possible for others.
As a Black entrepreneur, what legacy do you want to leave behind with your Self-Made magazine or any other things that you're doing?
I tell people all the time when they ask me that question, there's only one thing that really I've recognized the most. I have 3 beautiful children. And right now, because of what I've been able to do, they are on their own entrepreneur journeys now. They all have their own little thing that they're working on. And again, they're 5, 7, and 9.
It's never too early.
Never too early. I tell them all the time. The legacy that I really, as much as it is touching people and giving them the opportunity, what matters to me the most is the time that I've been able to work on this magazine for them to be a part of it. The only legacy that really means anything to me as far as value is that when I do, at some point, croak, God willing it doesn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
that they will turn around and recognize the work that I did and know how easy it was to do it if you apply yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That then them too, they'll do the same thing with their respective businesses, and then it'll carry on for generations and generations. I just like to be, or showcase rather, that inspiration for them, especially young. Show them that inspiration to know that whatever it is that they want to accomplish, whatever dream they have, that they can do so if they just apply themselves.
And that was going to be, that's the segue into my next question. How are you giving back to the community? Are you working with youth in any way to help them understand that they too can live out their dreams as?
Absolutely, absolutely. In the future, right now we're working on a couple of events that we're going to put on that will help young entrepreneurs gain some ground, if you will, in learning how to maintain finance, maintain marketing, maintain how to build the actual business. We're also a part of, we just got together earlier this week with a magazine publication that's actually coming out. It's called Fierce Magazine, which is all about young females and helping them recognize their true value, not necessarily one that has a lot to do with fashion or things of that sort. It's about the self-esteem
Yes.
of them. So we're really pushing forward for that project because I'd like to get that out because obviously it's something that we definitely need to recognize. And then of course myself, I'm also a baseball coach.
All right.
For my now officially this year, all of my kids will be playing, but my daughter was playing last year. So I'm a coach of a little league baseball team over at on Hartford Road, all girls baseball team.
Oh, that's great
So
fun.
shout out to my Royals. So absolutely, that's another thing. But again, we're expanding. If there's anybody that we come in contact with that we can work with in order to promote and then obviously do some good things for the community, then at any point we're always welcoming those opportunities.
Well, would you like to give a shout out to your wife, your kids, and your mom?
Okay, so shout out to my wife who's probably watching this. For those of you that do not know, you can visit getcakedonline.com and get your own personalized cupcakes or cakes or cake pops. I also want to shout out my kids who aren't watching this because they're in school, but they're also good to me. My mom as well, and a good shout out to anybody who's a part of the Self-Made staff who's also watching as well.
Awesome, awesome. So, do you have any events that are coming up, whether it be fundraising, whether it be just training events coming up that you want us to know about?
Starting on Sunday over at Flight Fusion Restaurant, which is off York Road. You guys can look either on Facebook or any social media for that matter to find that out. We're doing our networking event each month that the new issue comes out, which is normally on either the 15th or the 16th, depending on the time.
Mm-hmm.
We have a networking event and a launch that we do at Flight, and we always welcome all entrepreneurs to come through. It's just an opportunity for everybody to network, meet each other, obviously get a copy or a subscription to the magazine. And so we're doing that because of the snow. It got postponed from Monday that just passed, so it's going to be taking place on Sunday between 4 and 7 p.m. at Flight. So anybody interested with that, obviously come through and be able to meet my wonderful staff. Meet Brenda Jones, who will also be there, and all the other entrepreneurs that were featured this month. And you also have the opportunity, like I said, to purchase a digital download or get a print publication, or you'll be able to get a full subscription, which is only the cost of $14.99, and that's a whole year, 12 issues, and it'll be delivered directly to your door.
Awesome. You said something that's earlier that's very key to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about your friends when they left high school. They, which college is not for everybody. They didn't want to go to college,
Right.
but you chose a different path.
Right.
Why is education so important to you?
God, education for me is important, and this is a double standard. Education is important to me, number one, because it gave me the ground. It's not so much about what you learn as far as curriculum. It was the experience, the people that you got in contact with. For 2 years, I was with the Granville T. Wood Scholarship Program at Baltimore City Community College.
Mm-hmm.
And that opportunity for me transcended into what I am today. And it's because of those people that I got in contact with, like a Crystalline Bowie, God rest her soul, who was in charge of the program. She was someone who was very vocal to me. So for me, I think that it's the same thing as far as anybody. The experience alone, whether it be that you finish or you go in some route, and then when you get out, you decide to go another route, that's up to you. But I think the experience of college or school or education itself is something that we all need, or at least need to experience some of. Like you said, if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But I'm sure if you spend a year or 2 years, you'll get to know exactly what I'm talking about, the people that you meet, and things of that nature. And then, of course, education is so important to me because if it wasn't, my mom would kill me.
Uh-huh.
So,
good.
so
That's a good answer.
Absolutely. I got to say that. Sitting on TV like this.
Yeah, college wasn't an option for our
Right.
kids. So, but can you give your social media sites or any information that you want people to contact you if they're interested in making donations to what you're doing?
Absolutely. Donations are great. You guys can follow us on Instagram at Self-Made Magazine. You can also follow us at Facebook at The Self-Made Magazine. Twitter is self_made mag, or you can just visit us at our website, which is www.theselfmademagazine.com. There you can find exclusive news, exclusive interviews. You can find all the information in regards to the publications. Like I said, the February issue just came out this Monday, so we're very excited about that. If you'd like to purchase a copy, whether it be the digital, you can surely purchase that for $1.99, or you can purchase the print for $4.99, or if you're as excited about the magazine as I am, you can go ahead and subscribe on the website for $14.99, and again, that gives you 12 issues, as well as the digital copy each month for free, and that gets delivered directly to your door.
That's awesome. And go ahead and give another plug for your wife's business.
Absolutely. Hi. No. Again, that. Like you said, my wife also has a company which obviously would love to have some support from the viewers. That again is getcakedonline.com. You can get specialized cakes. She does everything from, she just did a shoe cake to a Ninja Turtles cake. Anything you think about doing, I'm sure that she can make that happen because I've seen it personally in my kitchen. So you can definitely do that. Also on Instagram, you can get her at GetCakedMD. Instagram also at GetCakedMD. And yeah, I think that's good.
Wow. Well, this is awesome, and I'm very proud of you. And
Thank you so much.
I think that you're going to go a long way. Hey, look who's on the cover of the January edition, everyone.
That box.
But hey, if you don't have confidence in yourself and what you're doing, who will?
Absolutely. Oprah. She does it every month. No.
So if you could take a few minutes and just look into the camera and speak your heart to our viewers.
Goodness. Okay. So I'm going to give you a thought that it just popped up just now. So this is all possible. Anything that you do is possible. Me sitting on this couch right now is possible. I literally get calls all the time to do things. And you sitting at home, you can do the very same thing because I know you're thinking to yourself, God, there's funding, there's all these things that have to get done in order for me to get off my couch and do the things that I want to do. Don't wait on anybody. Make it happen today. Make a phone call. Sign up for a website. Do something today that will start the path for the future. Because a good friend of mine says, see you at the top because, of course, there's room enough for everybody.
Well, on that note, we'll be right back with the Jackie Griffin Show.